This is a tutorial to make a little Toyo the Bus character. This is my version inspired by Toyo the Bus. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. We're going to start with the bottom of the bus. I've got a nice long tail before I make my slip knot, and I'm going to do 28 double chains. So that's what I call them. So we're going to take our tail from the front to the back, now working yarn from the back to the front, and then pull it through those 2 stitches. Front to the back, back to the front, front to back, back to front. Continue that until you've got 28 of these on your hook. I've got my 28 double chain. You can use this as an I-cord or drawstring, but in this case we're just using it as our chain. And then I'm going to do normal chain 1 on this one. Sorry, just realised I'm too far up. Let me just tilt, that's better. So I've done a normal chain 1, and now what I'm going to do is just double crochet along. So I'm working, so you've got your top loops as normal, and I'm working through there and just double crocheting all the way along the length of the chain. And then what we're going to do is chain 1, and I'm going to continue in double crochet rows until we've completed 13 rows. So I will catch up with you after 13 rows. I've done row 13, so next what we're going to do is chain 1, and we're just going to go along in the back loop only. So just working double crochets in the back loop right to the end. So as you can see, I've done that back loop only row. So now I'm going to chain 1 and do 1 double crochet row. I've just done that row of double crochet. You can see my back loop only row, so that's where it's going to fold. So we're on the side of the bus now. Now this is where it gets a little bit trickier, because I'm left-handed, and it's fine to follow the video if you're right-handed, it's not a problem. The only problem is I'm going to do some colour changes, and it's only this part that's the problem. But obviously I'm going to colour change my doors on this side, so that means I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do 22 double crochet, and then 5 black, and then 1 blue. You will do 1 blue if you're right-handed, 5 black, and then you double crochets in blue to the end. So I'm doing my 22. Okay, so I've done 21 of my double crochets because I'm going to do my colour change on this one. So I'm going to go in, yarn over, pull it through, and then I'm going to add my new colour. Now it should be black, but I don't have any in my stash. So for the purpose of the video, I'm going to use dark blue. Right, and I'm going to work over my yarn tail and my other colour. So I'm just going to double crochet in the next 5 stitches. See, anything symmetrical, doesn't matter if it's left or right-handed pattern. When it comes to doing things that are only on one side, can get tricky. Right, so I've just done my 5th stitch, and I'm just going to pull through with my blue. We'll just call the dark blue black for the sake of this. So that's the bottom of my door. So I'm going to chain 1, turn over, right, and I'm going to pull my yarn around the back because I don't want any messy lines across the front. So I'm going to I'll double crochet around those yarns, keep them nice and tight, pull in, pull it through so that we've got a nice neat bit at the front. And then I've forgotten to change colour already. If you do, it's a good idea to change colour like this, look, because it keeps that stitch nice and tight. There we go. And then we can just pull that back through later. Doesn't matter. Right, so I'm going to do my black 5 stitches, 3, 4, and in that 5th one, let's pull that. There we go. In that 5th stitch, we're going to yarn over with the blue and pull it through. And I'm only going to do 1 stitch around that blue just to anchor it. But I'm going to leave it there. There's no point in carrying it all the way along there and back. So then, sorry, I'm just stopping myself getting tangled. I'm going to cut off my tail. Don't need that anymore. And I'm going to work backwards and forwards in double crochet, doing these rows until I've got 5 rows of the pattern. So I'm obviously on my 2nd one already. So I've just crocheted across, and I'm just going to add my light blue in, my blue back in. So I'm going to keep that to this side because that's the back. So I'm just going to double crochet, move my dark blue or black to the back as well. Double crochet into those 2 stitches, chain 1, turn it around, double crochet into the first 2 stitches, change to the dark blue, or black, sorry, and then I'm gonna crochet over the tail on the back so that I don't need to sew it in later. So then we're just going to continue in this pattern. So this adds the windows in, and as you will have seen from the bust at the beginning of the video, we just add the details to separate the windows and that later when we finish the crocheting. So just crocheting across. That's enough of the tail. Let's grab some more yarn. And we're going to continue this until we've got 27 rows in all, but that's 7 rows of the window. So this is our 2nd row. So you're going to keep going until you've got 7 window rows. I've completed 7 rows of the windows, so that's 27 rows in all. So now what we're going to do is do a row back to blue. So I'm going to cut off. I'm not going to cut that tail off too. Cut off my black, leaving a little bit to crochet over, and I'm just going to do a row. I've done my chain 1 of double crochet over all of them, including that tail, all the way to the end, and then we're going to fasten off. I take that back, don't fasten off just yet. I realise we actually need an extra row, so I've got this row, then 1 more, and then we're going to fasten off, and then we're going to rejoin at the other side of the base to do the other side of the bust. So we've got the bottom one side, we're going to do the other side, and then we're going to go up and over to do the front, the back and the top. So I'll finish this bit off, and then we'll do the other side. So I've just done those 2 rows, and I'm leaving a nice long tail for sewing it together later. So that's one side and the base of the bust done. So now what we're going to do is rejoin at this side. And we're just going to go into the back loop of each stitch along. So just the back loop on this row. So just like on the other side, but obviously we don't need the door, we're going to do 6 rows of double crochet. So chain 1 at the end and 6 rows. I've done my 6 extra rows after my back loop only row. So now we're going to do our window. So if you've got your door at this side, you will have 2 blue double crochet at this side. So if it's the other way around, you'll only have 1. So I'm going to do my 2 blue double crochet. I'm not going to finish this one off because I'm going to join my black in without it splitting, keeping in mind which is the front and the back. So working from the back, and I'm going to leave my yarn at this side and join the other yarn for the other side. I'll work over the first stitch though, just because it's easier than carrying it, like we said before. So now I am going to work along exactly as we did with the window before, and we're going to have 2 blue stitches at this end, 1 blue stitch at this end, and all together we've got 2, 4, 6, 7 rows. So 7 rows just like that. So I've completed 7 rows of the window just like the other side. That's the back, that's the front. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just to do 2 rows of double crochet in the blue, and I'm crocheting over the tail of the black, so that I don't need to crochet that in later. I don't need to sew it in later. So 2 rows to do. So I'll finish those 2 rows, and again we're going to leave a nice long tail just to make sure that we've got plenty for sewing it all together. So that is our 2 sides and base of our boss, which is going to go like this. So next we're going to work up the front, along the top and down the back, and I've already made a little start. So I've done a double chain of 13, chained 1, and then I've done 6 rows in the blue. And what I'm going to do now, as you can see I've already cut it, I'm pulling that through, but I'm being really gentle because I want to go back through those. I'm going to join the black. So that, but I'm leaving that to sew in, so you get that nicer finish. In fact, I might just crochet over the 2 ends. So then we're just going to go over those with our black. It would help if I went through the actual stitch. Oh, I did half of it. Just pull those now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 8 rows all together in the black. So I'll join you after that. And then we add the bumper and the lights and things afterwards. So just, we'll take those to the side a minute for the last 2 stitches. And then I'll do my chain 1. I'm just going to cut those ends off. Right, so, well, I can cut this end off as well because I crocheted over that on the first row. I know this because I've just pulled in, it's tightened it all up. Right, so that's my first row. We want 8 rows all together in the black, and then we're going to be changing back to the blue. Okay, so I completed 8 rows in the black, and then I've done 1 row in the blue, a row front loop only in the blue. I've just done there because look, see which is your neatest side, which side you want to be outside, and not decide if you want to do front loop or back loop. And then what we're going to do is chain 1 and then just double crochet across for 28 rows. So this is the top of your bust from the front to the back. So just continue until you've got 28 rows completed, not including your front loop only row.